Welcome back. This was a crime that shook a small community in Lancaster County nearly 3 years ago. 3 members of a Manheim Township family were brutally murdered.
And tonight, for the very first time, the father of the teenage killer talks only with CBS 21's Ewa Roman about what he thinks drove his son to do the unthinkable. It's a CBS 21 News exclusive.
Imagine a crime like this would be tough to deal with for any family. Your child killing 3 people, one of them his best friend. But it's a tragedy with a lesson at the end, one that a father hopes everyone will learn from. On a still spring night, the Haynes family was home, sleeping in this quiet neighborhood on Peach Lane in Manheim Township, Lancaster County. Police reports show that a killer went to the house around 2 a.m., May 12, 2007. Sounds of screams woke up daughter Maggie Haynes. She ran to her parents' bedroom, found they'd been stabbed. Her mother had just enough strength to tell her to get out. She managed to escape, find a neighbor, called 911. The next morning, a sea of police were looking for any evidence that may lead to the killer. Maggie Haynes was the only one in the family who made it out of the house alive.
I still feel a sense of guilt that I should have protected him. That is what big sisters do. I would give anything for him to be alive today instead of me.
As Maggie dealt with the loss of her entire family, police continued their search. Weeks went by without a suspect. Investigators warned people to lock their doors. Police moved their probe to Manheim Township High School, where Kevin and his best friend Alec Kreider attended. But Alec Kreider wasn't there. He was at a local hospital getting help for suicidal thoughts. About 4 weeks after the murder, Alec made a shocking announcement to his dad during a family counseling session. Alec said he'd killed the Haynes.
Well, when you hear something like that, first thing is you really can't believe that you're hearing those things.
Tim knew that he had to go to the police.
As soon as he had told us, I knew what I had to do. I knew what I was going to do. The hard part was, I guess, on some level, convincing yourself that you're really going to do that. Go to the authorities or something like that for your own son. You just can't believe it.
When the day came to report his own son for the murder of 3 people, Tim couldn't get out of bed.
Friday morning comes around, and I'm laying in bed, and I can't even move. I just can't get my head off the pillow. I'm laying there just crying.
Like many kids his age, Alec loved to play video games and hang out with friends, including Kevin Haynes. His dad says he wasn't a troublemaker and was a straight-A student. But underneath the smiles in the family photos, something was bothering the 16-year-old.
He really wouldn't let me pass that surface a whole lot. Little snippets, but to the point that I knew he was struggling, and had some things that were bothering him, but I had no idea the depth or the severity of what he was going through inside.
He says the big question remains, what would make Alec want to murder his best friend?
Obviously, there was something somewhere in, Alec's mind that, led to that, but, I don't think he even really knows. Talked about it, and sometimes he still can't believe it happened or he did it, so I don't think he understands either.
Tim says he had no indication of a rift between the boys, adding that the two had a normal teenage friendship.
One thing he said was like in a rage. It just had kind of overtaken him, and he couldn't explain why or how or where it came from.
Doctors tried to explain it too. CBS 21 News obtained this psychiatric evaluation from the Lancaster County District Attorney's Office. In it, the doctor said Alec is not evidencing any symptoms of a major psychiatric disorder. What could you have changed, if anything, to try to help him even more, maybe?
I honestly don't know. I've looked at it, and when something happens, you look back, what did you do wrong? Where did you make mistakes? You analyze everything you did as a parent. Where did I go wrong? What could have been different? And, the only things I could think of is I could have been more forceful in making him speak to somebody.
Now, Tim is making it easier for other families to speak out.
Or whatever you're looking for, you should be able to find it here.
With a website called alsome.org, Tim Kreider made the commitment to help others.
The point of the name, Also Me, is that we all struggle. I don't care if you're 10, 11, 12, 25, 50, 80 years old. There's issues, there's things in our lives that we struggle with every day.
Whatever the issue, the website lists numbers of organizations people can call to find help. It also has inspirational quotes, music, and even funny videos. Tim says the point of the website is to let people know they're not alone. and to help
Everything was
him
wonderful.
make
Our lives
sense
are
out
going
of
in
a
a positive
horrific
direction.
tragedy that would forever change the lives of two families.
You know, a lot of people, some people, don't understand what I'm doing. They don't necessarily agree with what I'm doing. Why don't you just be quiet and go away and let everybody forget about this? And I just can't do that, because if I do that, then it was just a horrible tragedy.
Tim Kreider says if the website saves one life or changes one person's life for the positive, it'll all be worth it in the end. Ewa Roman, CBS 21 News.
Thank you, Eva. And Alec is serving life in prison after years of trying to get his son to open up. Tim says he and Alec are now closer than ever. Well, if you would like